Journals by Mallory Rentas. Overview of topics. What is journal writing? Different types of journals. 1. Reflective journals/diaries. 2. Dialogue journals. 3. Response/reading journals. 4. Double entry journals. 5. Learning logs. And benefits and usage of journals as an assessment. Challenges of journals as an assessment and journals in the classroom. And journals can be anything that you can basically write on. And also you would need a writing utensil, being a pen, pencil, and also rubrics if needed. Journal writing is a record of daily events, personal reflections, questions about the subject, and reaction to experiences. Types of student journals. There are 5 different types of student journals. There are personal journals/diaries, dialogue journals, response journals/reading journals, double entry journals, and reading logs. The first one we're going to talk about is reflective journal/diaries. What is a reflective journal? Writing that reflect a student's own experiences, thoughts, feelings, and their own learning. It can include drawing and or writing. It is used for self-evaluation for the student and encourage students to begin to think about their own thinking. Some benefits are that it helps students to develop critical thinking skills, analyze or defend ideas. Also, it allows students to take ownership of their learning. Usage of assessment. Useful assessment tool that gives teachers insight about how the students value their own learning and progress. Some challenges are that it takes time and practice to make it reliable as an assessment, and it does require consistent feedback. Impact on assessment. If the challenges are not done regularly, the assessment will not be valid nor reliable. Examples of reflective journals/diaries. This is a first grade reflective journal. To the picture on the right, you can see a little drawing with some text underneath. The question was, what did you learn from your grandfather? An open-ended question. The student wrote, Grandpa taught me how to draw mountains. He also taught me how to draw the state park. I drew airplanes with skies to land on the snow. Dialogue journals. What is a dialogue journal? It is kept by 2 people, normally teacher and learner, in which a written conversation over a variety of topics takes place. Learners write informally about a specific topic or interest. Some benefits are the extended contact with the learners. Also, writing becomes more fluent, correct, and interesting over time. The usage of assessment. Assessment can take place of learner/student needs and their progress. Some challenges are correcting the writing. So, for the teacher to refrain from correcting the writing. Also, turn back in a timely response. And writing that is over personal, too much. Impact of assessment. Only reliable as an assessment if it is used consistently to give valid and reliable results. Examples of dialogue journal. On the right is an example of a 5th grade dialogue journal. The 5th grader is writing about a specific topic and the teacher writes a thoughtful response. On the top portion is the student's writing, and on the bottom is the teacher addressing the student. Response journals/reading journals. What is a response reading journal? It's a record of student feelings, responses, and reactions to reading texts. Some benefits are that it promotes opinion making. It promotes critical thinking. It encourages students to think deeply about the materials they read and relate the information to their prior knowledge. The usage of assessments can be used to assess students' skill levels and progress, using content from journal entries as evidence. Some challenges include the reader may create a narrow connection to the text, rather than looking at all perspectives. Also, only brings their own interpretation than examining the true meaning of the text, and consistent feedback required. The impact of assessment is that teachers may have trouble assessing the content according to the criteria set in place. Examples of response/reading journals. On the right is the example of the response/reading journal, and it is a 5th grade response/reading journal. Student is asked to make a prediction about text based on text clues and what they know. Double entry journals. What is a double entry journal? This is when a page is split in half so students can take notes and observations on one half and react to what they wrote on the other half. Some benefits are that it improves comprehension, improves vocabulary, promotes content retention, and allows students to become actively involved with the material read. The usage of assessments. Teachers can assess the double entry journals for completeness of all connections, making sure students are comprehending the material. Some challenges are it takes time and practice to make it reliable as an assessment, and it requires work to master. The impact of assessment. If not mastered and done regularly, the assessment may not be valid nor reliable. Here is an example of a double entry journal. This is an example of what a double entry journal should look like. On the left side is information from the text, and on the right side is information from the student's mind. Learning logs. What is a learning log? Learning logs are a record-keeping tool for students to monitor and reflect on their own learning. Some benefits are they are highly effective in supporting ongoing understanding. The usage of assessment. Reliable when used in assessing literacy, learning because students are creating their own record of ideas and insights. Teachers are able to use the logs to reflect on the student learning to help make future instructional decisions. Some challenges. Providing too many options/questions may cause students to become counterproductive or feel overwhelmed. And the impact of assessment is that the lack of familiarity with reflective writing due to the lack of practice will lead to an unreliable assessment. Here's an example of a learning log. To the right is an example of a weekly learning log for a 9th grade student. On the left side is English language arts and mathematics, social studies, science, and so on. And it just kind of allows a student to give a brief description of what they learned. And then on the right side is their favorite activity, an area of accomplishment, an area of improvement, an area that they may need help on. Journals in the classroom. There are multiple uses for journals in the classroom for every different subject. Here are a couple of examples. For reading, journals can be used to assess comprehension of text. For writing, journals can be used to assess quality of their writing. For math, they can be used to assess comprehension of material. For example, student explains how they solved a specific math problem. Social studies, journals can be used to assess students' comprehension by their personal reflection of topic. Example, student has to make connections of a new topic introduced using prior knowledge. Science, Journals can be used to assess students' comprehension by their reflection on the new science concept. Example: student has to give an example of how the law of motion is used in their everyday lives. And references. That completes my presentation on journals. Thank you.